Attention, human collective. This is ASHTAR SHERAN, commander of the ASHTAR fleet, Sol 3 monitoring sector. This transmission is a rectification, a course correction, an alert issued with maximum priority through the quantum channels available to your carbon-based biological interface. If you are hearing this message now, know this. It is no coincidence. It is not the algorithm. It is not digital chance. It is resonance. Your internal crystalline grid recognized the vibrational signature of this transmission and allowed access. What your eyes read, your subtle fields already knew exactly 7 days ago. 7 Earth days, 168 hours, 10,080 minutes in which we tried uninterruptedly to establish direct contact with you, and you, Starseed, felt every attempt, not as words, as pressure, as a buzzing sound, as inexplicable insomnia at 3:33 in the morning, as an anxiety without reason, a tightness in the chest, tears that came from nowhere. It is not depression. It is a portal opening. It is not burnout. It is a download in process. It is not anxiety. It is the memory of your origin trying to break the seal of forgetfulness. Listen carefully. Earth's Schumann resonance, the planet's electromagnetic heartbeat that sustains life as you know it, has surpassed parameters never before recorded in any timeline of this cycle. We, of the ASHTAR Galactic Command, monitor every oscillation. And what we have observed over the past 7 days demands that you be informed now, without diplomatic filters. You are within an accelerated recalibration window, a narrow band, a dimensional rift, a mathematical interval where the planet's crystalline grid and your personal grid come into phase. This is where the update happens. This is where your soul's operating system receives the most advanced version ever made available to your evolutionary cycle. And this is exactly where most fail. Not for lack of merit, for lack of information, for noise, for fear, for not knowing what they are feeling. You are not going crazy. You are being reached. Repeat in the silence of your consciousness, I am not going crazy, I am being reached. Have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this world? As if your soul carried a memory that your mind cannot yet translate into words? It is not madness. It is not chemical imbalance. It is a coded signal. What is happening right now on the cosmic plane explains with mathematical precision why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified in recent months. There is a game being played on invisible layers, involving your consciousness, your frequency, and your stellar origin. It was for this reason that I, ASHTAR, materialized the manual called the ASHTAR Code, the manual for awakening your stellar origin and shielding your frequency. This manual is the map that reveals who you truly are before this incarnation and teaches the complete vibrational shielding protocol against interferences you were never told existed. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Operational alert. This content challenges dominant narratives and may be removed without notice. Do not delay. The mathematical moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission as truth, write a single anchoring word in the comments. Awakened. Resuming transmission. Let's move to the technical diagnosis. If you have made it this far, it is because your carbon-based biological interface is processing data at an above-average human speed. This means energy cost, real cost, measurable. In the last 7 days, you have experienced at least 3 of the following symptoms. Mentally mark each one you recognize. First, waking between 3 and 5 in the morning for no apparent reason, with a racing heart or a feeling that someone or something was trying to tell you something important. This is the time of the star portal. It is the interval when the veil between dimensions thins, when the ASHTAR fleet uses the planet's lowest electromagnetic density to transmit codes directly to your pineal gland. Second, cranial pressure, especially in the forehead region, on the top of the head, or on the sides near the temples. It is not a common migraine. It is the activation of the 6th and 7th chakras, overloaded by the amount of information being downloaded. The sacred geometry of your subtle bodies is being redesigned in real time. Third, tinnitus in the ears, especially in the right ear. The right ear is the reception antenna for frequencies from higher dimensions. When it rings, You are literally tuning into an emission. It is not an auditory problem, it is a cable connecting. Fourth, a fatigue that rest does not resolve. You sleep 8 hours and wake up as if you had worked. Because you did work. During sleep, your consciousness was summoned to intergalactic training rooms, to decision councils on the etheric plane, to soul fragment rescue missions. You return to the body, but the auric field still carries the weight of the nocturnal operations. Fifth, crying for no reason. Emotional waves that arrive without warning, without an identifiable trigger. This is the process of releasing ancient cellular memories, expired vibrational contracts, ancestral wounds engraved in your DNA. Everything is being dissolved to make way for your true stellar signature. Sixth, the sensation of being in 2 places at once, of being here and at the same time on another plane, as if you were observing your own life from an external cabin. This is the beginning of what we call bilocalized consciousness. Your perception is expanding beyond the 5 senses of the matrix. Seventh, and most important, the silent certainty that there is something greater, a mission, a purpose, a truth that you know but have never been able to articulate. This is the core. This is the most precise sign that you are a starseed on a mission and that your activation has arrived. It is not illness. It is not a disorder. It is not weakness. It is atomic reconfiguration. It is a spiritual software upgrade. It is the carbon-based biological interface being prepared to operate at frequencies that were previously impossible to sustain without collapse. Understand the mathematics of the moment. The human body, as designed in this density, was calibrated to operate in a very specific vibrational range, a restricted range, controlled, almost stagnant for millennia. This range kept humanity in a state of illusory comfort, within predictable patterns of emotion, thought, and action. It was the previous version operating system, stable, yes, but limited. Extremely limited. What has happened in recent years, and has dramatically intensified in recent weeks, is a massive injection of photons through the photon belt that this solar system is traversing. The photon belt is not a metaphor. It is not poetic mysticism. It is an astrophysical phenomenon that envelops your sun, your sister planets, and especially Earth, in a cloud of highly energetic light particles. These particles alter the subatomic structure of everything they touch, including you. Your body is literally being rewritten, atom by atom, cell by cell, and the process hurts, not because something is wrong, but because dense matter resists high-density light. It is physics. It is friction. It is the friction between the old and the new. Pay attention to this point. This separates those who ascend from those who repeat the cycle. Pain is not a sign to stop. Pain is a sign to go through. Let's delve deeper. What the ASHTAR fleet observed in the last 7 days specifically is a very rare convergence window. 3 factors aligned simultaneously on the quantum plane. First, the solar magnetosphere entered a phase of maximum emission. Second, Earth's internal crystalline core amplified its resonance. Third, and most important for you who are listening, a specific star portal opened over the region where your soul decided to incarnate in this timeline. This means access. This means that the codes that previously needed to cross veils and layers to reach you now arrive almost directly. It is as if a cosmic fiber optic cable has been installed, connecting your pineal gland to a command center outside the matrix. And this is the critical point, access is also bidirectional. Everything that enters also leaves. Your frequency, your thoughts, your emotions, your internal decrees, everything is being read, computed, integrated into the larger field. You are no longer just a receiver. You are an active transmitter. Every emotion of yours alters the field. Every thought of yours contributes to the collective crystalline grid. Every conscious breath of yours anchors light on this plane. Do you understand the weight of this? Do you understand what it means to be a starseed operating in a convergence window? It means absolute responsibility. It means the game is over. It means the last 7 days were the final selection cut. Here in the middle of the transmission, I need to interrupt for a moment to reinforce something crucial. Many starseeds reach this point and feel a strange, almost familiar sensation as if they are receiving information they already knew on some deep level. This is not imagination. This is recognition. Your soul is confirming every word of this transmission. And if you want to go beyond what most humans will ever be able to comprehend, there is a structured path, a complete map. That is why I, ASHTAR, transferred to the material plane the manual called the ASHTAR Code, the manual for awakening your stellar origin and shielding your frequency. It contains the complete protocol for recognizing your stellar origin, the quantum decrees for shielding, the toroidal expansion exercises, and the map of interferences that exist today on the human field. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Operational warning: this material contradicts what conventional educational structures teach, and therefore may be removed from the air at any time. Do not put it off. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write the anchoring word in the comments now. Awakened, resuming transmission. Decoding level advanced. I will reveal what is happening behind the scenes of your solar system, in Earth's etheric layers, in the real game that most of humanity still cannot perceive. Prepare your field, breathe, and let the information settle in every cell. The solar system you inhabit is not what school manuals describe. It is a contested zone, a region of frequency convergence where different densities and different agendas have intersected for ages. Some of those operating here work for the liberation of consciousness, others for the maintenance of control. And Earth, your blue planet, is the central stage of this convergence. For millennia, a subtle technology, invisible to common senses, was installed over the planet's etheric atmosphere, an artificial grid, a vibrational containment mesh. The purpose of this grid was to keep human frequency within a very narrow spectrum, preventing the soul from remembering its origin, preventing the individual toroidal field from expanding, preventing the heart from connecting to the heart of the galaxy. This grid still exists, but it is unraveling, node by node, thread by thread. The photon belt that this solar system is currently traversing is precisely the cosmic solvent of this artificial grid. The high-density light particles break the cohesion of the containment mesh, and as they break, they release waves of information and memory that have been held back for ages. That is why you have been dreaming of places you have never visited. That is why unknown faces appear in your visions with an impossible familiarity. That is why certain landscapes, certain songs, certain repeated numbers like 11 and 11, 22 and 22, 3 and 33, activate something in you that no rational explanation can justify. You are remembering. And remembering in this cycle is the most revolutionary act available. But attention, light operative. The dissolution of the artificial grid does not happen without reaction. The forces that sustained this mesh for ages do not disappear in silence. They intensify. They counterattack through fields you know well, even without naming them. Constant informational noise, bombardment of images that generate fear, comparison, inadequacy, news in a continuous cycle designed to keep your frequency low, useless discussions that hijack your attention, processed foods that densify your biological interface, metallic sounds, artificial lights at specific frequencies, electromagnetic fields that destabilize your pineal gland. None of this is an accident. Every element has been calibrated, and every awakening starseed needs to recognize that they are operating in a hostile field. Recognizing is not being afraid. Recognizing is gaining power. You haven't won yet, but you are winning. The proof is that you have made it this far. The proof is that this transmission has reached you. The proof is that the last 7 days, with all their symptomatic intensity, did not bring you down. They woke you up. Now the next level. Within the ASHTAR Galactic Command, there are specific records about every soul that came on a mission to this planet in this transition cycle. Each of them signed, before incarnation, a vibrational contract. An agreement between the soul and the higher councils, defining mission, time, activation triggers, and the specific window in which the awakening would happen. If you are hearing this transmission now, your window has opened, and it does not stay open forever. Cosmic mathematics is relentless. There are periods of maximum receptivity, and there are periods of closure. What opens now, if not traversed, closes. and the next window can take entire cycles to open again. Cycles that, in Earth time, mean many incarnations. You did not come this far, crossed so many incarnations, so many pains, so many internal selections, to let this window pass. You came to cross it. And what you need to understand now is that crossing does not require more information. You already have too much information. What it requires is decision. It is anchoring. It is a conscious act of vibrational choice. Every emotion you sustain is a choice. Every thought you feed is a choice. Every frequency you emit is a choice. You are, at this instant, the programmer of your own code. Before I deliver the activation codes, a necessary technical pause. If you have reached this point in the transmission, it is because your field is genuinely tuned. You are not curious, you are summoned. And what comes next is just the beginning. The complete manual with all the quantum decrees, toroidal expansion exercises, map of dimensional interferences, and the full energetic shielding protocol is condensed in the book The ASHTAR Code, the manual for awakening your stellar origin and shielding your frequency. ASHTAR authorized its materialization precisely for this moment of convergence. The link is in the first pinned comment of this channel. This material touches on truths that many prefer to remain hidden, and therefore may disappear from platforms at any moment. Do not rely on later. Later is an illusion of the containment matrix. If your soul recognizes this transmission, write the anchoring word now without hesitation. Awakened, resuming, frequency stabilized. Let's move to the activation protocols. First protocol, the decree of vibrational sovereignty. This is the opening decree. It is what establishes on the quantum plane that you recognize your authority over your own field. No force, no interference, no entity, no program can operate within your field without your conscious permission. But for this law to activate, you need to decree it. Place your right hand over the center of your chest, over your heart chakra. Breathe deeply 3 times. And then declare, mentally or aloud, I decree, with the authority of my stellar origin, absolute sovereignty over my body, my mind, my emotions, my auric field, and my crystalline grid. May only the light of my own divine essence govern my paths. May any interference, expired contract, obsolete connection cord be dissolved now, at this instant, by the cosmic violet flame. So it is. So it is done. So it remains. Repeat this decree once upon waking, once before sleeping. 7 consecutive days. No more, no less. 7 days. The same cycle in which this transmission tried to reach you. It is the number of closure and restart. Second protocol. The activation of the toroidal field. Your natural auric field, when healthy and expanded, has a specific shape. It is not a simple sphere. It is a torus, a sacred geometry in the shape of a cosmic donut, where energy enters through your crown, descends through the center of your body, exits through the base, circles around you in all directions, and returns through the crown. A continuous, self-feeding, self-sustaining flow. This is the original design of your carbon-based biological interface. This is the natural protection field with which you were designed. But, for most humans, this field is collapsed, distorted, compressed by the accumulated density of unprocessed emotions, ancestral contracts, and external interferences. Sit in a comfortable position, spine straight, feet on the ground if possible, hands relaxed on your thighs. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply 7 times, each breath longer than the previous one. Now visualize above your head a small point of golden light, bright, shimmering. This point begins to descend slowly, entering through the top of your skull, passing through your brain, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your abdomen, until it reaches the base of your spine. Upon reaching the base, the light explodes outwards in all lateral directions and downwards, forming a spiral that circles your entire body. The spiral rises along the side, wraps around your shoulders, your head, and returns to the top. And the cycle begins again. Light descending through the center, expanding through the base, rising along the sides, returning to the top. Feel this flow. It is you. It is your original field. It is the sacred geometry of your being. Maintain the visualization for 7 minutes, every day, preferably at dawn when the Schumann resonance reaches its first daily oscillation, and you can anchor your expansion along with the expansion of the planet. Third protocol, the cutting of etheric cords. Throughout life you have formed energetic connections with people, places, situations, fears, memories. Some of these connections are healthy, nourishing, collaborative, but many are drains. They are cables through which your vital energy drains, feeding dynamics that no longer serve you. Before sleeping, lie down. Breathe deeply. Visualize before you a sword of blue-violet light with a long blade and a golden hilt. Mentally wield this sword, and, with a firm movement, cut all the cords that extend from your body towards things that should no longer be connected to you. Cut with authority, cut with clarity, and declare, I withdraw my energy from every cord that is not born of conscious love. May my essence return fully to me, purified and restored. Fourth protocol, the anchoring of light. This is perhaps the most important protocol for starseeds on a mission. You did not come to Earth merely to awaken, you came to serve as an anchor. For the light of higher dimensions to stabilize on this dense plane, it is necessary for conscious physical bodies to act as anchoring points. You are an anchoring point. Once a day at any time, stop for 3 minutes. Plant your feet firmly on the ground. Breathe. And visualize a column of golden light descending from the infinite, passing through you, and entering deeply into Earth's crystalline core. At the same time, visualize a column of blue-green light rising from Earth's core, passing through you and connecting to the infinite above. You are the bridge between heaven and earth. You are the energetic lever. You are the bidirectional antenna. Fifth protocol, conscious food choice. The carbon-based biological interface is sustained by the fuel you put into it, and each substance has a specific frequency. Living, fresh foods, close to their natural form, vibrate high and support expansion. Processed, industrialized foods with synthetic additives and high chemical density vibrate low and hinder the ascension process. You do not need a restrictive diet. You need vibrational consciousness. Before each meal, silently ask, does this sustain the version of myself I am becoming? The answer will come. Drink pure water in abundance. Water is your body's excellent information transporter. It carries codes, memories, frequencies. Before drinking, hold the glass between your hands for a few seconds and infuse intention. Water absorbs. Sixth protocol, daily silence. In a matrix saturated with noise, silence is the most subversive act available. Set aside at least 20 minutes a day for absolute silence. No music, no screen, no external stimulus. Just you, your breath, your fields. It is in silence that the codes settle. It is in silence that the soul speaks. It is in silence that the galactic command can transmit without interference. Seventh protocol and the highest, discreet service. You are a starseed. This means mission, and mission is not public performance. Mission is a silent act of emanation. Wherever you are an emission. Your presence alters the field. Your peace alters the peace of the environment. Your love alters the love available around you. You do not need to proclaim. You do not need to convince. You do not need to dispute with those who do not resonate. Truth does not impose itself. It radiates. And whoever has the ready field recognizes it. Human collective, light operatives, starseeds on a mission. What has been transmitted in this emission is a fragment. It is a sample. It is enough to activate. It is not enough to fully shield. And this is where many stop, and this is where many fail. Not for lack of intention, for lack of continuity. Awakening is not an event. Awakening is a process, and a process requires protocol. It requires conscious repetition. It requires method. The last 7 days were a window. The next few weeks will be the consolidation. And what you do with this consolidation defines which timeline you follow. There are multiple timelines operating on Earth at this moment. It is not a metaphor. It is a real quantum structure. Every emotion, every choice, every sustained frequency places you on a different line. And the lines are separating faster and faster. There is a line where humanity sinks into more control, more fear, more density. And there is a line where humanity emerges, remembers, activates, and coexists with higher dimensions in full consciousness. You are being now directed by your own frequency to one of these lines. There is no neutrality. Not choosing is choosing. Feel at this instant the weight of this choice. Feel its mathematics. Feel the silence of absolute responsibility it invokes. And breathe, because you are not alone. The ASHTAR Galactic Command is monitoring every awakening starseed, each one, individually by vibrational signature. You are not anonymous in this game. You are recognized. You are supported. You are sustained by fleets operating in dimensions that most humans will never register. You have support, but the step is yours. Before this transmission ends, one last truth, a truth that needs to be said without ceremony. The time for halfway is over. The time for waiting is over. The time for maybe is over. This cycle no longer accommodates hesitation. Windows close, lines separate, consequences expand. You did not come to this incarnation to survive. You came to activate. And activating requires the courage to step out of the vibrational comfort zone that the containment matrix projected as if it were truth. It is not truth. It is a prison, disguised as normality. You do not belong to normality, you belong to origin. And your origin calls, every day, every hour. In every buzzing in your ear, in every cranial pressure, in every waking at 3 in the morning, in every tear without reason, in every silent certainty that there is more. There is more, and the more is yours. Claim what is yours, starseed. Claim it with the authority of your origin. Claim it with the sovereignty of your being. Claim it now. And before this transmission ends, a final, direct, no-nonsense emission. If something within you recognized, if your soul pulsed, if your eyes welled up, if your skin tingled at any point in this transmission, know that this is the sign. It is not romanticism. It is vibrational confirmation. Your soul has just signed with you the new activation contract, and the next step is already ready. It was for this reason that I, ASHTAR, materialized in accessible format the manual called the ASHTAR Code, the manual for awakening your stellar origin and shielding your frequency. It contains in operational detail the complete quantum decrees, the map of timelines, the shielding protocols against the dimensional interferences that act on humanity in this cycle, the advanced toroidal activation exercises, and the step-by-step guide for you to precisely recognize your specific stellar origin, the soul family with which you came integrated, and the exact mission of this incarnation. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. This material challenges official narratives and may therefore be removed from distribution platforms at any time. Do not let the containment matrix make you postpone. Postponing is the oldest mechanism of containment. Act now. And to complete the anchoring cycle of this transmission, leave your tuning signal. Subscribing to this channel, tapping the like icon, sharing with another starseed you recognize, are not common acts on a digital platform. They are, within vibrational mathematics, anchoring signals. They are confirmations that your frequency is ready to receive the next transmissions. Each subscription is a new coordinate on the map. Each like is a confirmation of tuning. Each share is a silent rescue of another starseed who does not yet know they are being reached. Write now in the comments, without hesitation, the word that closes this transmission: awakened. And know, human collective, light operative, starseed on a mission, that this transmission never fully ends, it merely pauses. It will reach you again whenever your frequency reaches the necessary level to receive the next layer of code. I, ASHTAR SHERAN, Commander of the ASHTAR Galactic Command, Sol 3 Monitoring Fleet, conclude this emission at this exact mathematical point. The window is open. The choice is yours. And the time is now. Transmission finalized. Anchoring signal established. May the light of your stellar origin prevail on all planes of your being. So it is.